survive, but that's not my day. Could be at home all alone, looking at the rain. I'm just gonna tell you straight, baby, I'm a I'm just gonna tell you straight. You think I wanna fall in love? If you want a life as a wife, you be home all alone, looking for a second answer. Home all alone, looking at the rain. I'm just gonna tell you straight, baby,
Let me turn on this camera. Make sure I'm looking good. Let's go with that. Move this over a little bit. No shortage of news to talk about tonight, folks. Ton of shit going on. Well.
It's been called to my attention that I'm apparently a higher point value on the LVL. Yes, Steven, I'm retired.
And what's your rank right now?
Not good. That's why I was like, right when it was told to me, I was like, I'm a higher point value in gold 4? Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you, like as of right now, I'm playing some of the best League of Legends I've played in a long time.
good.
Like I played a game just like 5 minutes ago, wrapped up. We were down a good bit early on, and I noticed I was kind of just like chilling and talking to Con, and like not thinking about things, and I basically just had to be like, okay, shut the fuck up, do what I've been doing in terms of like working with Healy, which is talk through this game, just play it out. I had a sick Ezreal triple kill, clutch out like a dragon fight after we like secured Soul, and it was just, it felt good. It's like I'm back to that. I'm back to that point where I can do it if I need to. It's like okay, and then scrims yesterday went well.
Yeah,
things
my
seem
word
to
is pretty nutty.
things seem to be going well. I don't think I get Twitch or not Twitch. I don't think I get Varus at all this season. I don't think there's a chance it gets let through because like last year they were banning it and I had like a 40% win rate on Varus in solo queue. Now I think I'm close to like a 70% win rate on him. So it's like I'm feeling good about it.
Good. You're all the way back. I don't understand their point rating though. I logged in and I was like, okay. I mean, it's pretty whack, but heard.
I mean, it is what it is. Nothing you can do, right? I mean, I'm technically a higher point value than like the bottom 3 that count at this point. And I'm trending upwards as well. Like I'm gaining 27 LP a game right now, climbing up from plat 4. I like gut feeling says if I keep playing like I am now and just like keep at this mentality, I could possibly hit Emerald by the end of the month.
Yep,
So,
that makes sense.
and even like if I'm actually like emerald ranking game, then we're set because I'm playing so far above the point value that they assume that I'm going to be at, or like even the next best alternative could possibly be. So like
Yep.
I'm doing good. But what's been up with you? What have you been up to?
Not really much. I mean, no, I've just been at home helping my mom and dad pack up their house and get it ready to sell because they have to have their home on the market as like a condition of the house they're closing on.
Yeah.
So
Is that like a condition so
really
that
just helping
the
with
new
that.
home that they're buying assumes that they're not gonna like back out of the sale or
Yeah, it's so that basically that right when that their home sells their old one, it's gonna go into the mortgage of
okay.
their new
They
home.
they tied it in with the
So
mortgage. Interesting.
yeah, it's gonna be really, which I think is gonna be good for them. It's gonna keep the home a lot cheaper.
It basically acts as the highest possible down payment you could get.
Yep, yep.
Did they have to put like a down
And
payment of cash besides that, or is that like actually acting as the down payment?
I think that is the acting down payment.
Okay.
But they're also working out. They're getting a better deal on the home because the basement isn't finished.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that matters for them. I mean, where they're at financially, it's fine.
Yeah.
The way everything is looking. But it is funny, even with the home they've sold, just because of the way home prices have gone over the years, the home they're selling, this is still like a pretty sizable loan for them. But the one of the homes they were looking at was this like neighborhood across the road from me that just can't sell homes and they're not sure why. And my dad was like, the guy looked at me and straight up set a price that even if we sold our home and then bought that house, it would have been more than the mortgage I started with on my current home. And he was like,
Damn.
"Why would I ever do that?" And his current home has gone up like 100% plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every house during COVID. And he was like, "That's just they're never gonna sell houses. Like they have a ton of pre-built homes that they just can't get rid of right now
Wow.
because they're just so high priced."
Which is wild because like the area that my parents bought their condo down in Myrtle Beach, when I was down there
Hmm.
back in August, we were watching them finish what was about 150 pre-built homes that all kind of like looked identical and like
Yeah.
this back back area. It's still like a 10-minute drive from the beach. It's not like directly on,
Nice.
but like it's in like a decent area. My parents bought a condo, not like one of the homes back there.
Yeah.
But dude, we went down there and I asked my dad, I was like, how long do you think it's gonna take for them to sell? And he's like, I'd imagine most of them were sold. So we talked to the one guy who was working like the realtor's office and like that model home that they always have within like new developments. He said,
Yeah.
yeah, every property, every house but two of them is sold.
Dang.
And we haven't even broke ground on half of them. And we've sold them
Wow.
all. I was like, God damn. Like that's a lot
Yeah.
of money. Holy shit.
How much were those homes? Like,
I think he said like
what did it say?
350, 400,000
Okay.
for like
Those.
a moderate sized or not
Yeah. The
it might have been
house.
250, 300. I think. I don't know.
The neighborhood my parents were looking in were like 500K like luxury homes.
Oh yeah.
And my dad was like, but they didn't look like too luxurious. They were like nice, really nice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but they had the big thing they were selling people on was the amenities.
Yeah.
Like the yearly dues for that neighborhood was crazy. That's really
Yearly dues
when he
and
was like
HOA, or is that replacing your HOA?
with the HOA. Yeah,
Okay.
those dues were nuts. And I mean, but it was gonna have that neighborhood's gonna have a splash pad. It has a full gym, like a nice gym,
Wow.
just for the neighborhood. Like it's pretty insane. And he was like, "Yeah, we'll go one down, make this easy, and move on with life." He was like, I'm not doing this." And he got a basement out of the deal, and
There you go.
added basement. And I was like, "Dude, you just need to do that and chill."
Yeah.
He's like, "I think I could make this work," and I was like, "Bro, just don't think about it and just go do the easy one." I was like, "You're at an age where easy is fine."
Yep. You don't want to make it more complicated on yourself if you don't have to. You
Yep.
don't need to fix me up.
Yep.
Like,
I think that's why that neighborhood's struggling to sell because there's like a lot of new neighborhoods in this area. And I think everybody's doing that same mindset. They go in there and go, "We could make this work." And then they go to the other one and go, "Oh, more house and less money, whatever." I guess we'll just drive 10 minutes to the splash pad
Yep.
down the road.
Wait, Okay, splash pad. Do you mean like a pool or?
Yeah, pool with a splash pad, like a rubber pad area where water sprays out for kids.
Oh, okay. We just call that the kiddie park. Like
Oh, okay. All right.
I've never heard it. I thought that's what you meant, but then you said it again. I was like, okay, I should ask
Mhm.
rather than just assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's so many things to talk about in League of Legends today. Like, there's
Yeah,
so much
there
shit.
kind of
So,
are.
I don't. Where do we want to start? Do we want to do the honorable thing and start with Brazil?
We
Or
can.
or
Yeah,
do
that
we
would
start
probably
with
be
do
the
we
right
start with the
move.
games this last weekend and let you say your piece for how bad you guys technically looked? Let's start there. Let's let you get
Okay.
let you get your vent out because you're not going to see
Feed
your
in.
team for another what?
Well,
There's 28 days in
first of all,
February, 16 days now, 31 days in March. So you're at least like 40 some days away from seeing your team play again.
so bad news is 40 days away. Good news is the baby will be born in that time. So half of it is gonna literally just go. Like you guys are all gonna be saying, "Where's the pro league?" And I'm gonna be like, "Huh? There's a league?" And I'm gonna be like, "What?" Looking up, like, what's happening? Just so confused. They're gonna say, "Yeah, T1 and some Chinese team are playing in the finals of some lock-in tournament," and I'm gonna be like, "Huh? What time?"
To be fair, you might be up.
Freaking out.
You
I
might
probably
you
will
might be up given that the baby's going to have you up at odd hours.
and I'm gonna be watching that game like, yeah, that's really good. That was good what they just did. Like freaking out. But the good news for me was my jersey came in, so that was
Yeah, I
nice.
saw that. How's the
Shopify's
material
gum.
on it for $20?
Really nice. Dude, this is insane. It's just a normal jersey. This is as good
Okay.
as every TSM jersey I bought.
All right.
Like,
Cuz I got to boost up both FlyQuest and 100 Thieves a little bit.
okay.
Dude, the quality, the material on it is fucking absurd. Like to tell you
on
the
those?
yeah, to tell you the difference, it's like you know the feel between your NFL jerseys and that. Okay, because I can see
Mhm.
it from here. That is like normal esports jersey, and NFL jersey quality is like a lot thicker. Like it's a lot.
Okay.
The FlyQuest and 100 Thieves jerseys are like not as thick as a hockey jersey, but the middle ground between a football and a hockey jersey. It is like
Okay.
the material is just absurd. And it's made me realize now, like all the prior jerseys I've had, including past 100 Thieves ones, are just not at that level of quality, which is why that I understand for $100. It's actually nuts.
Yeah.
But that for 20, I think is fine.
Well, it normally goes for 70, so there's that. But it's not as good, I will say, as the white TSM jersey I have from their
Yeah,
last
the
World.
Broken Blade one that you got.
Yeah, the Broken Blade one is probably the nicest one I have. That is like a legitimate,
Yeah.
like super nice jersey. All the other ones I have aren't as nice from TSM. But I don't think it feels too bad. I mean, that's good to know that Harder Thieves and FlyQuest are putting in that work, making nicer ones. But also, I do think this is. I mean, this is pretty good
No, it's good. I'm not
for
saying
what
it's
it
not.
is.
I don't mean to say that to
Yeah,
put it down. I just mean that to put those two up because
I get what
I
you
was
mean.
genuinely surprised when both of them came in at the quality because I'm used to that being the standard for like esports jerseys. And
Yeah,
it's just
that
night
makes
and day
more sense
difference.
why they charge the $30 more or whatever.
Which then I can validate like $100 for a
Mhm.
jersey of that quality. Yeah, I'm fine with that. That I don't mind.
Yeah,
But the quality is too good that's pricing out their fans. Brother, an NFL jersey is $130. I don't mind paying for high quality stuff
yeah, that's the
if I
NFL.
know that it's high quality.
That's fair. I just mean that's the NFL. They have everybody grip by the balls.
They do. They do for sure. But
They
like
can do what they want.
true. But like my point just being like I don't
But I
like
get what you mean.
when when
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head and rationalizing like price quality comparison. I don't mind 100
Mhm.
for what I'm getting, which is 130 for NFL being
Yeah, as long as it's
monopolized.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I mean going back, I guess, to the games,
Yeah.
because it was tough. I just kind of tuned in before the Super Bowl a little bit, and I saw them get plowed game one and went, well, that sucks. And then game two, I shut it off after they just gave away Atacon. Like, I literally just stopped watching. I was like, how do you even do that? Like, I'm not. I also was like about to go to a Super Bowl party, so I was kind of on a time crunch, and just like I didn't want my day to be ruined by how stupid of a play that was. Like, they legitimately took six grubs and Harold and ended up at one point down 4-1 in turrets, Atacon gone, all dragons gone, and I was just like that's just how can you be that bad? And that's when I was just like, whatever, bro. I'm gonna go enjoy my day. Like, they're not very good. Um, I don't really think they'll get better as the year goes on. If you want my
Well,
honest
that so
opinion.
that was what I was gonna ask. Like,
Yeah.
does Seos like fix that? Like, maybe Seos actually like is the guy in voice comms to be like, hey guys, how about we not ignore the big red objective that just got introduced this year? That is
Yeah.
slightly important given that it gives you a free GA.
Yeah. I think Seos can help. Maybe Seos does really turn them around, but I legitimately just don't think contracts and Palafox are very good. I think Fudge is just okay. And I know people love contracts, so they give him like chance after chance after chance. And people are kind of out on Palafox, so it's easier to just say Palafox is bad and move on with your life. But I do think both of them as a pair, I've been watching them for a year, have just not impressed me. And I'm just like, yeah, man, whatever. If they move on from the two of them and Fudge at the end of the year, I want to be shocked. I mean, honestly, the whole team, if they want to win next year,
You don't think there's a
like, they're
single
probably
piece that they could keep that helps them win next year?
not if you really want to win. Like, if you're cool with putting people around the players and seeing where you go, maybe vying for third, like if that's your goal, then you could keep like contracts in Bvoy and Seos if he ends up looking good. But I don't see how this team gets much better unless they have another dream run, contracts in Palafox where they just play out of their mind. That's really it.
I mean, they could, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know how they get there. Like, and I don't have an answer of like, oh, you just met like, I don't know. I guess you need a coach or you need somebody to come in to like help flip that switch. But like, I haven't seen a Revan as much as I love the guy in terms of like his interviews and everything that he does in the public space. Like, I haven't seen him level up players that much to be able to
No.
get them to that point. I mean, maybe when Colin said they'll have time to get better once they work together, sure, but so will every other team. And I'm not sold that like their ceiling is high enough to warrant that.
Yeah, I just don't see them getting to a point this year where my expectations are going to be high and I'm actually disappointed. Like, I think I'll just the whole year be like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's life. I mean, I didn't pick Shopify because I thought the roster was good. I picked Shopify because I thought I liked Moist and Ludwig coming in. And I think they'll make them better in the future. I don't think they'll like sit for this level of mediocrity, I guess.
I heard your fellow Shopify fan kind of go off on them earlier today.
Oh, was it Khan's video or
No, Clout.
Clouds?
Clout
Cloud.
was not happy with the effort that you guys have been putting in terms of like Lud and Charlie, being active on social media with it, and the videos that you
Mm.
guys put out, and the tweets you put out. He was not. He did not appear to be sold.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about their YouTube video views for a while. I don't think they're doing very well. I haven't checked in a minute though. Um, I know their I'm sure their Twitter doesn't do that well. I mean, their Twitter never comes up in my feed, and I regularly try to like their tweets to get it to come into my feed, you know? like
Yep.
my For You, but my For You is just worthless. All it does is try to send me like bait all the time, and it's perma muting people I don't know. But yeah, I don't know social media front. I mean, I don't really know who is though in LTA. Is there really any team that's crushing it right now with videos and
I say
Twitter?
Cloud9. Cloud9 is like the one that's well, I mean, hey, all press is good press. All right. And whether whether
Yeah.
people like Ludwig popping off on C9 or not, like that's free engagement for them.
Hmm.
Like my tweet on it has
No, it is.
35,000 likes.
Your tweet has
My tweet
35,000.
has 35,000 likes on it. Lud's tweet has like
What?
10K itself. Uh
You mean 3,500?
no.
35,000.
No, I mean 35,000 and almost a million people saw that tweet.
Where? Where is this?
I tweet a lot. You got to scroll down. It's part of
How many days ago was it?
like 2 or 3 days ago, give or take.
Bro, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the tweet. I liked it. I'm saying I didn't see it get to 35K.
I muted it like 2 days ago. So I had no clue what the
What?
number was. I just checked back earlier today and
What?
saw that it hit that
What
number.
did you get picked up by?
I have no clue. It just hit the algorithm right and it's like
35K? That doesn't even make sense. That's more than like anything LTA's gotten like all year. Is that the most liked LTA tweet this year?
no, there's no way that's the most like. There's got to be something else.
What's been liked more?
I don't know.
35? That doesn't even what? Did you get botted
I have no clue.
by the Saudis or something?
Dude,
Or
no, the replies
anti-Saudis?
the replies were viciously like against Ludwig at points. Some were for Ludwig. It's like
That's
I
nuts, bro.
I don't know. Could be like Con said, could be the EWC Saudi boost in the algorithm. Who knows? But that was like
Yeah.
wow. But even then, it's like it's going against them. So I don't know about that. But
Yeah. That's nuts. I didn't know it got that big.
yeah.
That's
So but like
crazy.
even factoring that in, C9's put out a ton of videos. C9's been tweeting a good bit. So like I'd say like they're A1 on top of everything. FlyQuest streamed their
Yeah, that's
scrims. That
fair.
was like a 10K video on YouTube, and uh the Twitch VOD obviously did well there, and now they've played their game, and now everybody's going to Brazil. So I'm curious to see like the thing that worries me is like we're at Wednesday of this week. The LTA's put out some content. The teams I think put out some of their voice comms, but that's about it so far. And it's like for 100 Thieves and C9, C9 did have their podcast. So I'm excluding C9 from this because they're on top of their content game.
Yeah,
But
they
like
are.
100
For real.
Thieves, we haven't posted anything since the voice comm last week. It's like you've had all this
Really?
time. Like gotta have something out there. You gotta be promoting the shit out of this. Dude, the LTA South has like outnumbered us 20-1 in tweets about everything. Like our teams, like go look at the LTA North Twitter and then put it side by side with the LTA South Twitter. It's fucking insane. Like it is night and day how they handle social media versus how we handle social media. And I saw a comment earlier saying, "Yeah, David, you tweet too much. Always on my timeline." To grow as a content creator, you have to tweet like 7 to 8 times a day, unless all of your tweets are bangers. So
Where's like the actual LTA South
LTA Soul,
one?
SUL.
Seoul?
Yeah,
SUL? Okay. Dang, they do get their engagement isn't that crazy compared to ours.
no, I'd say they're a little bit smaller, but also just like look at the sheer amount of content that they're spitting out over the last like.
No, yeah, they are. They spit out so much. What? Oh, they even put our guys in there.
Oh no, our guys are almost entirely on there this week. That it's like I don't think if people from the north knew, like if they don't follow the south, because they probably don't, because it's entirely in Portuguese. We have no reason to follow the account. Like you wouldn't know, but like there's a shit ton of stuff going out down there.
I want to see their stuff where when Payne lost.
They tweeted out immediately after their series were done on Sunday, like who Payne was facing, who X was pit. Like they put versus 100 Thieves versus C9. We didn't even mention who we were facing until on Twitter until like 3 days later. It was like Jesus Christ.
Geez, their orgs have a lot of followers, man.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
yeah.
I know they're getting about the same likes we are. Do they get? Oh no, okay. Their players get a lot though. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, they do some numbers over there.
Oh
Good for them.
yeah.
They're doing what Whippo has to say like the most out of pocket psychopathic thing you could think of to get those numbers.
I mean, Whipple had to plead people for 10K to get that list out there, and like it had to like work.
True.
Actually, because now that you think about it, because when you mentioned like the most liked tweet, Whipple probably had the highest, right? Prior to this, of like, you know, smat like
Yeah.
hit the like, and I'll share my top lane list, and that hit like 20-30K at most.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm not gonna go head on it. I guess there's a lot here, but
But then
I
Cash,
mean, Whippo gets like 6, 7, whatever K. You know.
yeah, so it's not unreasonable for him to get that.
Yeah, he got 10K just on his solo kill of 30.
Yeah.
So he does numbers. Which I mean, good for him. Like he's the one thing holding. I feel like he's holding this region together with his.
Oh, whoa!
just this-
A new player has entered. Well, an old player has entered the chat, but we'll get there.
Yeah, you're right. You're
We'll
right.
get there.
That's
I
fair.
wanna keep this on Brazil for just a minute.
Mhm.
Is there anything worth talking about this weekend when it comes to the games that we're gonna be seeing?
Well, also to mention the last two games, the Fly Dig
Oh
and
yeah,
the Fly TL ones. We can just skip them because I didn't watch them. I don't know if you watched them. I didn't go back to watch them. Didn't really feel like I needed to. So I'm just gonna let those be. So if people are like, "Oh, where was that?" There isn't gonna be talk on it. But I think this week, I don't know. I mean, I literally don't know how good they are.
yeah,
Like how good Brazil will be. All we know about Brazil and well, I guess their what is it? Their teams from Mexico did really well.
yeah. They were the 1 and
They
2
got the
seeds.
two, yeah, 1 and 2, which I mean, in my head makes me think, man, they pushed us pretty hard, even though Hundred Thieves was our third seed. Like they did pretty good against them. Maybe they can make some magic happen. They're 1 and 2 seeds, but from what we know about Brazil, this should be clear cut, like across the table, curb stomps all around.
Should be.
Like
My thing is, I don't think we've been given a reason to give a
they
shit
move it
about
to
the
2
South.
p.m. I thought it was
Yeah,
1 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. U.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you don't think it's like
Look, and
stomp. It looks like a stomp.
he's saying
Also,
in
why
chat,
is there no double elim for best of threes? I didn't even know. I didn't know there wasn't going to be a double elim. Learned it today, and I went to look at the bracket again. I like thought about it today. How I was like, I need to mention how stupid it is. There's not a double elim, and I forgot about it when we came on. And I'm looking at the bracket again, and I'm back on that. Why is that not a thing? What are we doing here? What's the plan?
The plan is to fly down there and have 4 total days of games. That's it.
Yeah. How much are teams spending to fly their teams down for one series if they lose? Like that's a lot, right?
During Carnival too. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
that's crazy.
I mean,
Hmm. I mean, it sucks. It's best of. It's what is it? Not double elim because like
if it was all best of 5, I would have less problem with it being double elim. But again, best of 3s all the way around just feels like shit.
yeah, best of threes with no double elim is crazy. Like bet you either do best of fives normal bracket or best of three double.
Yeah, that's my opinion on it.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like, it's hard to decide because Loud is the worst team, right?
Yep.
Probably, or well, Pain is technically, I guess. So
Technically
Pain
Pain, yeah.
is. Let's go through Pain's rosters like Teton. They love saying it fancy, but Curry,
Days.
Karaoke, Wiser, and however you say that one dude's name who whooped on what's his name last time or quid last time. So theoretically, that could be a good game. I mean, the Wiser dude is a Korean, and Sniper's not really playing insane.
And he still wins. So
They have a Korean support. Their jungler and their mid laner probably, well, I was about to say probably get taken to the cleaners, but never mind. This dude literally whooped on on our boy in front of a crowd. Last time he had to play in front of a real crowd. I'm not saying none of these LA like chilling clouds, no hate
it's not the
crowds,
same
no
as a
hate
Brazilian
to
hype
Healy.
crowd. Yeah.
But that I don't know, man. You put him where the pressure is again. I don't know
Well,
if your
that's what I
boys
said. Look,
respond.
that's what I said. We're gonna learn real quick on whether
I
he's
heard your video.
overcome the nerf
Yeah.
issues and whether he'll be fine in that setting. Because if he's not, then like, hey, Quick could be as good as he wants domestically. You start falling into that trap of, okay, if this dude's gonna have nerve issues every time he steps on a big stage, we got problems. Like,
hmm
we'll deal with it then. But for now, I've been given no reason as of late to doubt Quid. So I'm fine with him being how he is, personally. I think the biggest upset comes in the potential of TL. TL looked beatable domestic had you guys just not sucked ass. All right. Or not you guys. Was it Dig? Or no, it was you guys that they played, right? Yeah, it was you guys. Yeah. Had you guys not sucked ass. All right. And I'm not saying that the LLA team is guaranteed to do better, but it is like Jose Dioto. So
Well, they also
it's
have a Korean. They have Berdol,
yeah.
who's like a known Korean top. They have a Korean mid, and I mean their ADC support obviously are probably good enough. Like if we're being honest, and I mean there's a chance yes they lose to Yan and Core JJ, who are very good, but also not like let's not pretend like Yan and Core JJ are playing insanely unstoppable and not hold everyone accountable on that team just because Umti is playing so bad. Like their whole team is struggling slightly, I would say, as a squad. And you put them in the wrong. I mean, you let what? They get one win. Like they go down, so TL goes down one. Isris has that 1-0 on them. TL's already mad at each other. They start flaming each other again, but now they're thousands of miles away. And all you need is one more. I mean, I get best of threes can bail you out, but at the same time, they were like really close to being 2-0'd in disgusting fashion by 100 Thieves. And if that happens, maybe they don't recover for that series against Shopify. I mean, Shopify's, I hate to say this about my own team. I don't think they're very good. So them beating like the difference between our top four
And
and our bottom
four
four is huge. And the difference between our top three and TL right now is also like
pretty big.
pretty big. It's pretty big. So the fourth team we were sending facing the 1 seed of CB Lowell, there's a chance there. I'm not saying it happens. I honestly don't think it does, but there's a chance.
Yeah.
I think just hands wise, NA is still better.
Oh, hands wise, we win every matchup 95-5 in terms of odds.
Mhm.
But look, you never know. Somebody shows up on the day. Maybe it works out well. I don't have faith that that's gonna happen. And it's gonna be really weird, in my opinion, to go down there. And if we beat every team in the first round and it's just all NA in the semis, dude, it's gonna be
They even
so
show
awkward.
up.
It's just gonna be like, have you ever heard that that viral sound on like Facebook or Facebook videos, Instagram Reels, TikTok? It's like, hey, how y'all doing?
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
somebody
don't-
needs to
does-
post that whenever they walk back into the stadium and be like, hey, we
Do
know
the
we knocked all your
Brazilians show up,
teams
though?
out, but how you doing?
Like, would they show up to even cheer for the next days?
So I asked Onric about that in the part that'll be in the pit,
Mhm.
and he said, yeah, they'll still show up for the final days.
Okay.
He said it's not like he said if it was a massive stadium, we might have issues, but the fact that it's just a 150 person studio, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem with filling it up still.
Okay. Because I think here it would be questionable. Like, obviously, I don't think there's any world this would ever happen. But if you're playing in LA, and let's say it's an all Brazilian final,
Oh, the Brazilians
like,
would fly out. No, not a doubt in
you
my
think
mind.
they'd
Oh
fly
yeah,
out in a
100%.
heartbeat?
100%.
Okay.
Brazilians would show up. Now, would North American fans go down to Brazil? No, we're scared of Brazil. So,
No. I mean, what do you mean? Would we? We don't even go to LA, brother.
I know. I know.
And I'm not. Like, LA is pretty freaking far.
And it's like 8
And I
hours
get
down
Brazil's
to Sao
big
Paulo.
too.
So like,
Yeah. But at this point, I feel like LTA North fans are like, "Yo, we'd love a roadshow." They went, "Nope," and we went, "Well, I'm gonna save my money. Yep, online audience sounds good to me."
well, I mean,
In-person
the question
watch
would
parties.
be like, would you fly out to an LTA kickoff event, which very few people seem to be like treating with the seriousness that you would hope it would have, or do you save your money and go to MSI in Vancouver? Or is it Vancouver? Yeah,
Yeah, I'd go to MSI.
exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
I mean, you're right. That's a good point. If it was even on my radar, that's a good point.
For Brazilian
I mean,
fans, they're
it's
guaranteed to get a team there too, or at least
yeah,
some
they are.
fans. So
They are. It's just tough. It's this. Okay, that is another thing. This whole first split has felt like I hope the energy changes for second for NA, at least. I don't know how LEC feels. I know LCK fans like they're pretty up and down about it because it like doesn't count technically, but now it also kind of counts
it's kind of like
technically.
separate stats.
Everything's like weird. Yeah, so they feel weird about it. There's a lot of like what is it, bench players playing and people seeing what they've got type of feel.
I don't think
And
Smash is a bench player. Seeing how he feels, I don't care what anybody says.
well, not anymore,
Smash is
yeah.
starting for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Not for him. But there's a lot of, you know what I mean? There's a lot of teams that are trying people out. And at this point it's being treated like preseason, and I kind of get it because if you're a team right now and you're looking at what T1's done, where they've won nothing but 2 worlds back to back, right? And a spring split, I think,
No,
in
they
that time
haven't
frame.
won. Oh, I think they might have. I think they won spring back in like 2022. I don't know if they've won.
Oh,
a
you're
domestic
right, you're
title.
right. It's been yeah, they've won back to back worlds, and that's it for 2 years. And they're on cloud 9. Like, they're so happy. They're the best team in the world to everybody. So at this point, if you're every other team, you're like, brothers, you really don't need to play well right now, and it really don't matter. We're trying to get to Worlds and be our best then. If you feel like you're even coming close to burning out, chill. We'll sacrifice some of the season and we'll sneak into playoffs because that's what the greats are doing. They're chilling out in summer if they have to. They're relaxing when they need to, and they're just trying to win Worlds at this point. And it's working. Legacies are being made off of it.
Yep.
Like, it's entirely working.
I don't have an answer for you. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I guess we can use this to kind of segue into the viewership conversation. The numbers are atrocious.
yeah, I don't even know about, I don't know how to talk about it because I'm kind of sad. It's like watching something. I've already watched TSM go away, so I've felt that pain. You've seen Optic go away. And now it's just like watching something you really want to live just slowly whittling away. And I don't have an answer. Honestly, don't have a plan. I know I'm not going to be the one who does the work it would take to save it. I know you are trying to save it. But I just sit here and I'm like, dude, I don't have the answer and I don't know. Honestly, it's a little weird because there's some of them are talking like they're from Riot. I'll hear people talk about it, or people who've been involved with this for a while talk about how it's not that bad, and it's
I'll
like
fucking
almost
call it out
sounds
right
like
now. Arsh said that shit. It's some bullshit. I don't know
Arsh did.
if you'll end up seeing this, Arsh.
Oh,
I'm not going to sugarcoat this just because I enjoy our conversations online. He said, "Yeah, I expected a bit of a down bump. 20% is like within the realm that I was expecting. That's fine."
Oof.
I'm like, "What the fuck are you on? In
Yeah,
what
that's a lot.
world is us dropping this viewership?" Okay, and it ain't going to rebound. We've been over this a billion fucking times. The viewership
Yep.
that you get at the beginning of winter is going to be right around what you're going to get for the beginning of spring. There's not just magically going to be this rebound of like, oh, guess what? All of a sudden, everybody cares come split two. It's like, no, they won't. Like, it's going to be the
No.
exact same number as it is right now. And it's like, uh, dude, it bugs.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, I know I was a little bit doomer for some people on Hotline League when I called in, but what do you want me to
Well,
say? Like,
that's
viewership's fucking down terribly bad. So we're
oh
fucking
yeah.
up something horribly wrong. It's at weekday numbers already.
Well, people are talking like it's the NBA, how they're having viewership problems. And the one thing for the NBA though is they can bleed for a while if they're having these issues. They have time to figure it out. I I get the vibe that people are like still feeling like we can bleed in League of Legends
Yeah.
and there's time to figure it out when really this should feel like back against the wall territory for North America. The vibe is that we can bleed, but in reality, only LEC, LCK, and LPL can probably bleed. I think NA is at a point. LTA South, they could bleed a little bit, and they're doing good to get back to where they were. I mean, their fans got very mad about losing 4 teams, which is fair. I mean, they had 2 LLA teams come in, so they realistically lost 4, like after losing the other 2, and it's just like I don't know. You look at North America, and you're just like, what do we have holding on? I mean, the scrim event was good. It got 50K views. That's great. Maybe teams will have interest in that and it'll keep pushing. And Doublelift's team, helps regain viewership in that realm. But the actual broadcast itself seems so unmonetarily sound. Like, I don't know what you do there.
It is depressing loading up
It's honestly
Twitch.
at a point where like they're doing good graphics, they're running good events, they're playing good promo videos in it, but you're at the point where you're like, oh, this viewership number is one of those numbers where I'm like mentally thinking you're like about 20 more K away from this making more sense to be like 3 guys
Yeah. No,
as a
that's
production.
like if I'm Kobe, Azale, Captain Flowers, all of them,
Yeah.
I'm looking at these numbers and I'm fucking panicking personally. Not maybe
Yeah.
not Flowers can get a job fucking anywhere. He's the GOAT caster. But like everybody else, like your pay's gonna get cut. Like everything that you have is gonna slowly start bleeding away. As if it hasn't
Mhm.
already. Emily Rand, Jat, Raz. Like Raz would be the one that I'm looking at, like, okay. Raz is not a caster. He's a color commentator. Uh I don't know if he's done commentary during games this year yet. I've only seen him on the desk. And I'm like, the desk is like the first thing that gets cut.
Yeah.
The absolute
Yeah, down
it
to one
goes
one person
immediately.
or just casters.
Yeah.
They'll just make the game casters keep going.
Like the main broadcast is getting, when you combine YouTube and Twitch, at most 60K.
Yep.
At most. What's the value add for the amount of production that they're putting in? That's going to be the first question that gets asked.
Yep.
And it's going to quickly, like, people are going to quickly realize that, like, unfortunately, the broadcast being good, while great, is not impactful on viewership. It
Yeah.
is not derivative of the trends of what would help them grow. Now, is it good to have there? Yeah, of course, because it will help it grow if things were to take off and things were to start growing in a different direction. But the catalyst for change is not going to be just the broadcast being good itself. That's not
Yep.
possible anymore.
Yeah, their sub count right now is 442.
442.
Yeah, subs
Shit,
for LTA North.
Link has donated a fourth of that to me alone.
True.
Like,
No, that's true.
for
Well, the
I'm
estimated income from that is 817 to 1200.
I'm sitting at 143 subs, almost all of which Link has fucking paid for, barring like 20. It's like, what do you like? What are we doing? What's going on here? And I hate to be the red herring. I hate to like keep criticizing, but like kind of have to a certain extent. The marketing is just so fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's like I'm
No, it
waiting on a
is.
graphic to come in for our New York City watch parties. And the second it does, I'm putting out a video a day every single day on TikTok to promote it until tickets are sold
Mhm.
out. Like that's
Man, that's tough.
I don't know what you fucking do at this point. I really like
I
I
don't
don't
either, 'cause they only get subs on game days, right? Which makes sense.
yeah.
Like that's when they get their subs. But if we're being real, there's not going to be a ton of game days with 3 international events now, and us like moving to a dual broadcast is also going to hurt. We're playing at the same time as LEC. I can't imagine the NA broadcast is going to be really doing all too well
Khan's
this
got a
weekend.
Khan's got a great fucking point. We've seen it with the arcane stuff. Why can we not embed the low esports broadcast right into the client?
That's true.
That is a great fucking point. That should be priority number one is getting that in the goddamn client
Yeah.
immediately.
You don't just want the battle pass in there?
No, I don't want to be
More
open to
battle
fuck.
pass
Oh, dude, it's
buttons?
so. Oh, they're so greedy.
I
They're
personally like
so fucking
clicking
greedy.
all the battle pass buttons. It makes me very happy
You know what
on
I'm
the
more
other
likely to
side.
buy? If there's a low esports stream and there's a pop up that says, "Hey, I can buy this thing for X team that's playing right then and there," I buy it
True.
immediately. I buy whatever 100 Thieves thing is on there, whether it's shit or not. I'll
Bro,
buy it
did
immediately.
you see, did you see how quick Shopify sold out when they put jerseys at $20?
Yeah.
You know how quick, like, you do a flash sale of a random team skin for like a Cloud9 or a TL who actually have fans? Like, you're talking like you just randomly made them a skin or a really good, like, what is it called? The chromas
Yep.
for one of the skins. Like, you do something like that for them. I know you only get skins if you're a world's team at this point. We're in dire straits. Let's start getting funky with our thinking.
Well, and the other
Like,
problem is like they're not going to want to put the esports broadcast embedded in the client because that's time away from them trying to sell skins, which are
yeah,
more of their priority.
yeah,
So like that's even that's like a false like as much as it would be great, it's a false hope. It's not going to happen, right? It's not going to prioritize esports. So now it once again falls back on the shoulders of like teams and players growing this shit and like broadcast personalities growing themselves.
yeah.
Like
No, that's fair.
I'm actually curious. How many times has Azale tweeted out this week? He's a good one that because I think like most people think Azale is like one of the biggest players on the broadcast. Azale. He retweeted a lion thing, retweeted a DSG thing, the dive, and before that, 4 days prior, he tweeted. He'll tweet during broadcast days, but like besides that, it's kind of hit or miss in between. I don't know. I do not know. Do you think Doublelift saves us?
I think it can help. I don't think sorry, I gotta finish that to this guy. I think Doublelift's thing is gonna help a lot. I think it's gonna be really fun. I don't know if he should put it under a old team banner or not. I am more on the side he needs a new name, new branding.
He did a stream earlier, and I don't know if you saw the picture in like esports that somebody put on there. He put like his like goals and objectives with all this. He did like full Ludwig style. Uh, he is coming up with a team name on his own. That'll be
He
like their
is.
own independent thing. Yeah. So I think he's going about it the right way there. It's interesting because it's like I wish he would have had a more well defined plan for this, but at the same time, the scuff nature of it very much is in line with how Doublelift does things. So like it's
Yeah.
kind of on brand for him to kind of do all this on like there's a the way I would say is like there's a beauty behind things being scuffed to a point. Like mockumentary
Yeah.
style. Like it's fun. Like things can be like loose up to a certain degree where like it's considered like cool and like artsy in a way. So it's like he's flirting a line here. But like I hope he understands the potential he has with this and can fully like flush it out. Assuming he cares, which there's no
Yeah.
guarantee that he does. But he's got a bunch of old names in the space. Speak is what #1 in solo queue right now, I think, or at least like close to it.
Yes, I believe he
So
was.
they should be able to run through this open qualifier bracket. Should be able to.
I mean, with TF Blade and Spica, they should hold it up. I don't know Doublelift and Bio. I assume they're gonna crush everyone
Sure.
there.
But
And Poe Belter's challenger too, so I don't know why they wouldn't.
So once they get into the NACL and they're fine there, and as long as they finish within the top half, whatever, and like don't like they're not worried about getting relegated, okay, then you can start having players retire. You know, Poe Belter and Biofrost, like, hey, they helped them out to get them into the league. Great. Now you usher in like a new generation of like fresh talent, younger faces. All right. That then maybe help them climb a little bit more. Like now you're going like full Wrexham, full European football club like style with this, where like the bigger names can help you get up to a certain point, but then you have to start developing talent. Like at some point that has to come. So like if it's just going to be Doublelift and friends, this is a project that is not going to work out long term. I'm calling it now. Like it's going to fail horrendously if this is just a attempt for Doublelift to solely get back into pro play. That said, if this is a chance for them or for him to build a brand from the ground up at a grassroots level using his own platform and his own name, which then he feeds into like a system where once he stops playing, because I don't think this will last forever with Doublelift. I think he retires within 2 years at most. He then starts co-streaming all the games for his team and becomes the Cadril for his organ the same way that Cadril is for Los Ratones, or Optic has Scump, who's no longer playing on the COD team but watches every single game. Like you have a massive potential for grassroots movement there. Massive potential. And then you can start spotlighting talent and newer guys, and Doublelift can like have interviews and conversations with the younger guys. And like there's a ton of possibilities there. If he does this well and executes it and actually thinks it through, which I suspect that he does, but not because he's thought about it, but because Lena is like in his ear as well, like helping him push to understand what it takes to build an org.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they are. TF Blade is 4th on the ladder.
Okay.
Spica's 5th. Doublelift 60th. So I mean, they should not be bad. And I think you're right. Like, hopefully Lena helps him, not with budget, but with idea.
Nope, not a good idea.
With idea. But I think if Lena helps him with the ideas, we're in a good spot. And a lot of good can come from that. I did see the name Spica had on his thing. Bro, it was so funny. He had Unction Junction. Like that's the name. And I was like, bro, that he said, I don't know if Unction Junction would be the name, but I think it's pretty funny. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty freaking
People
funny.
on TikTok are running with Unk Academy.
Unk Academy, that would be sick too. I mean, the thing is, it's hilarious because that group is so random. Because like it all makes sense, and then you look at TF Blade and you're like, huh? But he's like actually good, so it'd be kind of funny to watch him with them. His mind is just insane. I can't imagine him playing with Doublelift. How that's gonna work?
Yeah.
Like if Doublelift ints, he's gonna scream at him instantly. But it was hilarious because Spica was going through the list too, and he's like, yeah, so some old has been mid. Yep, that's what we had in 2020. And then he goes and he's like Doublelift and Biofrost in the bottom lane, barely holding on. Yep, 2020. And he goes, all right, what's top lane? It's the same thing. It's a Turkish guy who plays carries. We'll get this done. He's like, if I could win LCS with that lineup, I could do it again. I was like, that's crazy, bro.
Look, it's gonna be great content at the end of the day, which is
Oh
exactly
yeah.
what we need. I just hope it builds towards something. The only thing that I worry about with like any name involving Unk is like if you eventually do want to transition it to be like a proper org that like once Doublelift steps away,
Yeah.
you need to have a better name than Unk Academy or Unction Junction. I'm sorry, but like that's it's great for the
And
moment. It highlights like what is going on right now very well. It is not gonna be like your brand name going forward.
and UNCU are not going to be getting
No,
any
no, no,
legal
no, no,
stuff
no.
on that, buddy.
Nope.
That's I think that legally is very owned.
What you do, in my opinion, is like you know how people have like different eras of teams? Like you come up with the brand name, and then this is like the Unction Junction era, or like the Unk era, or whatever you want to call it. Or
Yeah.
like how like in the WWE there was the Attitude era, the Celebrity era, except stuff
Yep.
like that. You come up with your brand name, and then it's like the Unk era, and it's like Speaka, and like you give each generation of the roster a name, and you like let
Yep.
the community like really jump in on it, and I think it'd be great. It'd be phenomenal.
No, it could. I think if they pick a good name, it's gonna be insane. Like Los Ratones is funny. That's what makes
Because
it
it plays
good.
into the rat theme of Cage Roll as well.
Yeah. They need to pick something decent with that. I mean, I don't know what they'll end up going. Like they'll figure it out. I'm sure they will.
The community,
I
I
mean,
think, is going to help a lot on that front. There will be eventually be a name that latches on quite well. That's just like from the community
Yeah.
itself that really takes off.
my biggest fan I was of one was some guy on Reddit put it. I don't remember his name. I don't remember Reddit names. I don't know why I acted like I was gonna remember it by thinking about it. But he put TLC and he said like Team Counter Logic or something, or it was TCL, and I was like, that's kind of funny. But TCL like
The Turkish
it's already
league.
kind of taken
Yeah.
in the league, and people know it, so it probably won't work. And you can't mix really like Team Liquid, Team Solo Mid, and Counter Logic, and like it makes sense to people. I think that a lot of those people are like, well, one, the Team Liquid fans are still here, but two, I think most of the TSM and Counter CLG fans aren't gonna know this news happened. They would only know if like TSM came back,
Yeah.
type of deal.
I wonder if there's
If
a
you're
way for them
following,
to.
you have something else.
I wonder if there's a brand way that they could get around like using the acronym LCS.
That would be funny.
That would be fucking hysterical.
That would be really funny.
Find some sort of mnemonic that works into LCS.
Yeah.
We are the LCS. Now that Riot wants
I
to get rid of the
really.
name, like we have it.
What was it just FlyQuest in like C9 Academy when C9 ranked up that FlyQuest slot and then FlyQuest got bought and like they sold the slot, but they were having their old pros go and just rank up slots pretty much for money
Yep.
repeatedly.
Yep.
That was funny back then. If they could do some play on words to that too, it'd kill me. But I trust them to figure it out. I mean, already that team, I mean, it's obviously going to be one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to believe that. There's
I'm being
no
said that
way
they're
it's bad.
scrimming. Blue Otter's going to be scrimming them here soon. And then obviously they have a scrim tomorrow that's going to be public as well. That's like,
Okay.
what's going to be hilarious. All right.
Wait, they have a scrim tomorrow?
Yeah, public scrim tomorrow.
Versus who?
I don't know yet. I don't know if he said. It might be on Twitter or something. I don't know.
What is Biofrost's rank even?
Couldn't tell you. Not a damn clue at all. But
Grandmaster. Well, the
Oh,
rest of them are
jeez.
top 100 challenger,
yeah.
so they'll be fine. But
Here's gonna be the wild thing, okay? You guys, I say you guys talk about Shopify. Shopify, Dignitas, Lion, and who am I missing? Disguised. If you let Doublelift come in and steal your off-season thunder, okay, when you should be scrimming and doing content and doing all this shit, and you let Doublelift be the fucking bane of everything, I swear to God, every single one of you should lose your LCS spot.
I mean, it's just gonna happen, brother.
You should be scrimming Doublelift's team. Like, I don't
mean,
care
yeah,
if
they
you
should be.
lose. You should be scrimming Doublelift's team.
They should be. I hear you. Do you think they will?
No, because I think they're too scared. I think it's going to be a pride thing for the bottom 4 teams
I
that,
agree.
like, they're going to be way too scared to play an like an NACL level team or a Doublelift level
Yeah.
team. Because if they lose, oh dear God, does the flame commence for the LTA teams. Like, it gets so bad, so quick. But at the same
I
time,
mean,
it's
yeah.
deserved. You can't be losing scrims to these guys. Like,
There's nothing but bad news for them doing it, but at the same time, they should do it.
they should. No,
Like,
100% they should.
yeah.
But they won't.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, the good thing is this should get talk about the league. It'll be fun. We'll get to see how good they really can be. I mean, they're gonna probably curb stomp all of OQs. Looking at all their ranks now, like they're all top 100, but Bio and Bio's Grandmaster. I'm sure if he really wanted to climb, he could get somewhere near Challenger if he really wanted to. And honestly, he doesn't have to be Challenger to
No.
be good enough for them to run through OQs. Is there really an OQ roster that's even near them?
I know nothing about tier 3. Bro, I got
Is there
nothing.
anything about OQ? Where can we find stuff about it even?
I don't know. There's
Other than joining another Discord server to
I don't know, but I can't imagine Riot's. I don't want to ask Riot right now because I can't imagine they're happy with me
because of your take.
on the weekday games. I mean,
What?
it's their. Oh, you didn't read about this part.
No.
No. So apparently, NACL games are going to be played during the weekdays during the day.
What time?
I don't know exactly, but apparently during the day for at least West Coast during.
Oh,
the day.
you mean during? You said during the day. What? Like during like workday?
And for them, school
What?
day.
Like not. Oh, like you're saying around 2ish, noonish.
2ish
If
probably
it's
for West
noon, they're
Coast.
crazy. Okay, yeah. Noon for West Coast is nuts. That's nuts.
I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is a development league. Your whole point is to develop players so that they're getting a ton of experience at a semi-competitive level compared to pro, and people can scout that. If you're putting it at a time where the majority of your player base can't play, what are we doing? Well, you're expecting them to skip class and skip school. There's no chance. There's no chance that this isn't like a school sanctioned thing. Like, esports aren't like, this isn't a NCAA sport where people are going to be able to just like, you know, go to a professor and be like, yeah, I have this. And the professor's going to understand. They're going to be like, oh, so you're leaving to go play a video game? Huh? We're not there culturally. What the fuck? What are we doing? Have it on weekends. So apparently, this was messaged to me privately, but I have I told people don't tell me private info. I will fucking put it out there. I won't say who sent it, but I'm putting the information out there. I don't give a fuck. Let me pull this up. Okay. Said. The other context of this is that Riot has strict internal rules about streaming other Riot-affiliated competition at the same time as LCS. When NACL Open qualifiers were at the same time as LCS last year, official live streams were banned during the spring split, with the games in summer being moved to evenings to avoid the conflict. The rules used to be even stricter, with Tier 2 and Tier 3 not being allowed to overlap at all. Wouldn't be surprised if they changed this policy as they're trying to maximize Tier 1 viewership and limit the competition between products. It's a fucking development league. You want to know what the smart choice would be? All right, this is 500 IQ. Brilliant. Let me ask you this. You haven't, I apologize that I'm forgetting this right now. Do you know the gender of your baby yet?
Oh yeah, girl.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure if you said it publicly. I completely forgot for some reason.
No, yeah, you're good.
Your daughter, okay? Okay. She's 5 years old. Okay. Grew up quick, healthy, everything's great. Okay. You sign her up for soccer. What time is your ass waking up at to take your daughter to soccer on Saturday morning?
I mean, whenever the game, 8, 9 a.m.
Which means you got to be up at like 7 a.m. to get there. You got to
Yeah,
have everything ready. You got to have the minivan packed. Like
yeah.
you're, you're fully doing that. Why the fuck can't we have tier 2 and tier 3 play in the mornings on weekends? Oh, what? Because they're gamers and they don't wake up that early? Too fucking bad. Have them be the lead-in to tier 1. Scale it up throughout the entire day. Voila, problem fucking solved. And then you're not competing with the product.
Bro, don't put them on the Saturday morning cartoon schedule.
They might as well be.
Crazy. That's a crazy move to tell these guys that's your dream.
Okay, but what time are PGA Tour, what time are the shitty people in the tournament going off?
Yeah, I guess they
8
can
a.m.
offer
What
those
time does the
things.
broadcast start? 3
Yeah.
p.m. Every other fucking sport is willing to do it but us.
You're so heated about it.
It's so dumb for no reason.
It is.
And I can be heated because Emily's not here, so I can't get yelled at for being loud. And I really
That's
like this
true.
right now. Oh, dude, it's pissing me off. Oh, it's pissing me
Dude,
off.
I will say it's hard to watch these channels too because a lot of them will try to delete their VODs after on YouTube.
Oh, I know.
It's insane. And I'll be like, bro, why? What do you gain by getting rid of that VOD? They never upload the games. You know what I mean? They just delete it and move on. And you're like, okay, I guess.
What I don't get is there's people, if Riot, I'm trying to think this through, okay. Riot comes out and says hey, we still don't want to compete with the LEC. It's a Western product. Bro, it's only the diehard North American fans that were probably not going to watch LEC anyways. Put it on before the LTA and let it be the lead-in so that when that gets done, you're immediately going into this.
Yep.
It cannot possibly be that hard. We cannot possibly be this boneheaded as a fucking region. There is no goddamn way. You can't, it does not have to be in its own time slot. It does not have to be its own thing that is going to be profitable because guess what? Tier 2 is never going to be profitable. Ever.
No.
Never going to happen. So stop worrying about that. It's a subsidy of tier 1. Sorry, I know I'm getting really heated over this dumb issue, but it's just, oh my god.
No, the only way it's profitable is if you do a Doublelift doing. And that's because they're all streamers, so they were going to make their streaming money anyways. This just makes them more.
Yeah. I'm just dude, what are we doing? I know. Come here. I know. I really upset you dearly by yelling. I am sorry. I've scared Luna.
Fair.
Ah.
As she should. As is her right. But yeah, the thing is, and this is just like earlier, where I said, I don't have answers. I'm just watching the spiral, and I'm worried we're about to be in the death spiral. We're getting eerily close.
We're there.
You think we are?
I think we're there. I think we need extreme action to be able to get out of this current cycle, whatever the
predicament.
Yeah.
A real predicament. And it's not good. I mean, and again, I just don't get it because it's not like it's, earlier we were talking about Marvel in movies today. It's not like Marvel's problem, where some of their movies are doing well. Oh, what do? I guess they fall back to their billions they've already made successfully and built up so that they can reimagine it and get back to what they were doing, and get back to making billions. And when they fail, they're not even losing money. So do they care? No. And it's more like we're in the Sony position,
Yep.
where we had a couple things hit and man, we've put out a lot of stinkers. And I don't know how many stinkers we can afford to do, but we really need to turn this around before everybody hates us. And I guess we're just doing the typical like fall back on Spider-Man, fall back on Doublelift
Yeah. Well,
move because
it's the
Bjergsen is just
same
gone.
old song and dance. It
Yeah.
always comes back to Doublelift.
Yep, because Bjerg ain't coming back. Bjerg has got paid all his M's and he went to chill.
Yep.
I don't know what he does now, but wherever he is, he's happy, I bet.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, he's not. I don't think you can even beg him to come back. Like, a lot of your old legacy orgs, they're gone. So you're kind of stuck with C9 and FlyQuest right now leading the charge. Trying to. And I think they're both doing about as good as you can in the current moment.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of them have pretty good strategies for now. Like C9 is very much like doing well on like the constant podcast front. They have a podcast with their players every single week that
Yep.
does a good job there. They're constantly engaging on Twitter. The players could be a little bit more active on social media, but even then, like they're doing enough content with C9 that like I ain't mad about it. Like I think Cloud9 is like the one org that you can't sit here and criticize. It's everybody else around them that needs to step up and do more work and be willing to like cause a little bit more drama and just like talk about shit and just like I don't know, make it more entertaining. It can't just be one team doing it. But like TL is very quiet. I don't think there's anybody on TL players wise that like is really willing to go out there. They all seem to be like in that hunker down, just grind
Yeah, other
mentality.
than APA.
FlyQuest has their strat with stream scrims with some of their shit popping off. So I mean that's good. And Blippo's doing a good job there. Masu, oh brother, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Wow, how bad he is at it.
At social media, yeah, he's terrible. He's such a good player. He's so good. But dude, the fact that I think Travis pointed this out because I didn't even know it in the scrims. He said that apparently Masu turned on his camera whenever they did their stream scrims, and then he didn't want it pointing at his face, so he just like tilted it either way up or way down. It's like, bro,
I get it, I
that's
guess.
not what we need. What don't you get about this? That you dude, it's tragic. It's tragic. It's like I get it. You can have one or two players like that. Like that's not a problem. But you can't have almost every player in the fucking league doing that. For Surdy, brother, if you see this, okay? I love your personality. Let's turn on the camera, brother. Let's let people see your face when you're streaming. It can't just be gameplay streams with you talking in the background. Like it's not bad, but that's not up to par. That's not modern day social media standards. You knew it, like
Yeah,
the
built
thing, and
some
like
more.
I know he gets it. I know he knows in his mind of like, hey, like here's the things that he had to do to get noticed in order for a team to pick him up. You can use that same logic of like, here's the things that you need to do for the general public to pick you up as a player, as a personality. So
Yeah,
do
no.
them.
I mean, there's a lot of heat on it right now because I will say, like, one thing, you're gonna love me going to this, but I've been watching this guy for a minute now in golf. But Bryson DeChambeau, that man, like, when he sits down and actually explains to people why he made his YouTube channel and why he decided to do it, because just to try to save golf, like, it's kind of insane. Like, you can hear, like, he had a video with Phil Mickelson, and Mickelson is sitting there going, bro, it's crazy you're thinking about the game like that while also like actively winning tournaments and like being good and participating well, going to live stuff, doing all your live work, then going and playing the PGA events to let you play the majors or whatever he gets to play. And like all this, and he's running a YouTube channel that doesn't upload a ton, it's every couple
No, but
weeks.
it's incredibly high quality whenever he does.
It is.
Every time.
It is.
Did you watch his Breaking 50 with Grant and
Not yet. I have
Garrett?
it queued up for tomorrow.
It is.
So,
I haven't seen it yet, but I just know like it's
yeah, it's
anytime
always
Garrett and Grant are
insane.
on camera, it's great.
Yep. And it's just you watch like somebody like him go, hey, I see a problem here. Like, we don't have the younger generation. We messed up. And he does it himself, like, just solves it himself pretty much. And now he has this huge YouTube following, and it's going crazy. And he has a ton of kids who watch him, and just young adults who watch him. And you got to be thinking, like, what can we do as a league player? You got to be thinking, like, what can I do to do what DeChambeau did for golf?
Yeah.
And if you aren't doing that in the current moment, because let's be real, DeChambeau did it when golf wasn't even like that bad. It
No.
wasn't like golf was about to die. He just thought that there was a problem coming, and so
And
he fixed it early.
and he did it when he was the most hated player in the entire game.
True,
Nobody wanted to see his face on camera.
true. And now he's like this beloved dude.
Yep.
And there's still people who boo him, but they'll get outdone by the cheers.
Yep.
Which shows you like he completely saved his image. Like, because if a random guy like me will tune into golf who never watches golf and like never plays, but if my friends say in a group chat, the sports one, if they go DeChambeau's cooking, I hate him, I'll tune into golf all of a sudden and be like, oh, I want to see him win, and I'll be typing in there like, you're a bunch of losers, he's the best, and they all get mad only because I watch his YouTube, and it's like that stuff isn't terrible. You have to have people like me who are like dead casuals who rarely watch but for this one guy, and that's not a problem. If you have that, it means you're doing really well as a sport. And I think there needs to be one guy, and it is Bwipo right now, who is pushing that, and the rest of them, like the younger ones, need to try to be doing that too, and seeing what Bwipo's doing and being like, yeah, we can also help with that, because league is at a point where it needs a lot more than just one guy
Yeah.
stepping up and seeing the problem. It needs probably one guy on every team, if we're being honest, stepping up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know what they want to do to fix it. I mean, I get inspired and Masu hate the live streaming scrims thing. I understand why you wouldn't want to do it, but at the same time, like, you're just not in a position to
No.
be that tight about it. You have to be trying to grow.
I don't know.
It's almost
I don't.
imperative.
I,
And I mean, it low key it worked. 50K viewers
that's not a small
on a
amount.
stream scrim day, that's a lot. That's half of what we're getting right now, if not more on some days.
Oh, that's. I mean, peak. Well, that was peak concurrent that it hit. I would say.
True.
Like that's the only thing that I will note there. Like average was probably closer to like 30. I'd say when it was all
Yeah.
said and done. But even that 30, given that we're at 80 or like 88 for the LTA, like, man, I don't know. I'm curious to see how this Doublelift scrim goes. If Doublelift scrim hits like 30, 40K, like, we could be cooking with something.
Yeah, for real. And if it doesn't go really well, I hope people like let it keep building.
Yeah.
And they're not like, oh, it didn't work once, let's quit. They're like, okay, let's see where this goes. Maybe get a bigger team in there, get one LCS team to go against him. I don't know why none of the bottom feeders wouldn't.
Yeah.
DSG is primed to play him. It just
Oh,
feels
absolutely.
like.
Especially given that, like, it would be a great storyline too, because it's like we'd see the scrim now, and there's a non-zero chance that, say, Doublelift and them play incredibly well and qualify up all the way, okay, and get to like that promotion relegation thing. Then guess what? That scrim that we saw a long time ago, that's all
Yeah.
of a sudden very much now relevant as these two play
Yeah.
each other for promotion
True.
relegation, like in an actual match. Like that's where like the stream scrims, I really just hope it becomes like a once a week thing where like one team a week decides to scrim and like it is their responsibility to do so. They get the control of the live stream, the long feed thing. Well, both teams could do it. You get a YouTube video out of it, but like it goes even further beyond that as well. And it just goes to the point that you said that like everybody needs to be invested in trying to, like, I hate to say it, but trying to save this. Like, I hate to use that language, but it kind of is true.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to do their part. And that's, again, I'm not trying to, I don't want to pick fights
No,
with people. I don't. I just want to say, like, for broadcast talent, like, I know they do pros and film that on the same day as broadcast days. And I know there's like pitch meetings and stuff like that goes on throughout the week in terms of adding value to the broadcast, fine. But like, we desperately need more content. And maybe that's probably not on them, it's on the teams. But like, somebody has to step up and really kind of do this. It amazes me. I don't know if I told you this. Shocks followed me on TikTok the other day.
Hmm.
And I was like, no
That's pretty
shit.
cool.
That's kind of, I don't often get like a little starstruck whenever somebody follows me on social media.
Yeah.
But I've been following her on TikTok for a bit now because she, like, anytime it's like game day, I want to see like all the fit checks because she'll have like medic and like everybody else there. Like, she'll do like behind the scenes stuff of the broadcast and like talk about it after she's done on TikTok. And it's like, where is that for? Like, I want to see behind the scenes. I want to see like the little bits of like somebody like really taking advantage of what is like an insane platform like that. Because like, I'm just thinking, if I was on broadcast, what would I do? Dude, I'd have a TikTok behind the scenes. Dude, I'd be pumping out 3 videos a day like it's nothing. And then at the end of every night, like, talk about something that happened on broadcast or something that happened with the games, like on TikTok, in like a quick 2 minute video. But then do like skits while we're there and like show behind the scenes and stuff like that. Because like, I would want to show off what I'm doing in that
Yeah.
space. And I don't feel like we have anybody in the scene that like really wants to show it off behind the scenes. I feel like everybody involved, for now at least, is like really behind the curve on social media. And that's our
Yeah.
biggest problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
I
it's
mean,
players,
really,
talent, anybody.
even I was gonna say worse than everything. It's our main broadcast is behind on social media. Like players, yes, but like even the league can't get itself propped up. And we're talking about the league that said we're thinking about moving to an all online audience because that's where we see the future. And it's like, well, buddy, you're not getting much online.
Nope.
So what are you expecting? Like, I mean, it's just they do have to put something together, and they all have to kind of come together and try to fix it in some way. Getting better, as you were saying, and like adapting and honestly copying a lot of what LEC is doing is not a problem if NA needs to do that at this point. I mean, they can try to say we want to be our own thing, but being your own thing hasn't worked. Just put it behind you.
I saw the LEC did our caster versus player game show thing.
They did,
Yeah. Where's that this week?
and that's not a
Where's
bad
that
idea.
been this year? That was like one of my favorite
Yeah,
series to watch last year, and it just non-existent now.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like those little things, they do add up. What helps a ton is teams having like crazy fandoms that they can build out of, but none of our teams have that regional base, so that's not coming anytime soon. You try to think, okay, if regionality is not coming in North America, where regionality is a pretty big deal, like every other place in the world, uh, what can we move to? So they go, okay, we're gonna go full online. Now, full online has, for what everyone wants to ignore, been really tough. And let's be honest, we're pretty much full online. We sometimes play with a crowd, sometimes don't. That's basically teetering on full online, anyways, so you might as well call it that. You're running watch parties, which is probably the future. They're going to have to start finding people in cities to run more watch parties, try to keep that growing if they want like a actual grassroots, boots on grounds type of growth. But if you're ditching that and you're going full online, then you got to have some good, like crazy co-streamer to break it open the way Casual did, or try something of that vein. And I mean, there just hasn't been anybody they've propped up that's really broken the mold yet. I mean, I don't know if you like got to pay Tyler One to do it every week,
No,
if that helps artificially inflate. I don't think Tyler 1 though is like he would he'd be probably too toxic
Probably.
to fully do it.
You know what annoys me? Maybe this is personal, too personal with it. Why did nobody from Riot ever reach out about trying to partner for our finals watch party here in New York City? They've known.
Oh, about
They've known.
Worlds.
They've known. Not even for Worlds. I'm saying the
Oh
split one
yeah,
finals. They're doing that block party out in L.A.
true.
Why did nobody reach out?
No, yeah, that's fair.
Like I gave you the date before you even knew that you were doing a block party yourselves in L.A. The second I found out the date for finals, it's like, hey, I had within 24 hours, Legends confirmed. I had our schedule out of like when
Mhm.
we'd be doing watch parties and where, and I put out a tweet saying if anybody wants to partner, like let me know. Like why would Riot not? Like I know they sent some stuff last year for free, and that's great, but like I'm not asking for much. Send me a Timo hat and a Riot flag. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all I'm asking for. I'm not at like they send these boxes of swag of like plushies and shit like that. And like that's great by all means, and I'm appreciative of that. But like all it takes is like a Timo hat and a flag. That's it. Like two simple things. You'd be surprised how long of a way that goes.
yeah,
And it's just like you know that I'm gonna do it. You know that I'm trying to do these things, and like why won't you work with me? Why won't
yep,
you like do the bare what to me feels like the bare minimum? That's just like I don't get it. If I was LPP, I'm sure they'd give me something. I could like I'd have a
yeah,
direct communication with Riot and be like, "Hey, I'm doing these watch parties. What can you provide?" And they do that. But like I can't get into LPP because it's not open. We don't know when it's gonna get reopened. So it's like I'm just hung out to dry here. But even then, like you can't miss me constantly saying shit on social media and in every video that I ever put out. And if they truly like, if nobody sees that within Riot, then maybe I'm failing, but I feel like I'm decent viewership relative to a lot of other people in the space that are not like massive creators. Why has
yeah. I
nobody
mean,
reached out? I don't get it.
it it's whack because I look at LEC and all they've done is empower their teams with co-streaming or their creators in general with co-streaming rights to try to build them up as fast as possible. And that's kind of the route they've gone. And it feels like NA almost took the official broadcast, took it as like co-streaming was going to eat into it and then the broadcast would get cut, right? But they failed to see, I guess, what LEC saw, which was, hey, yeah, we lose some people to these co-streamers, but the more we grow with them, rising tide floats all ships.
Yep.
Let's try it out and see where it goes. LEC broadcast has been bringing on a lot of different faces along with their older ones, and that's been fine. And they've been growing and adapting and changing, and it's been good to watch. I don't know what LCS at this or LTA North, my bad, does,
Dude, it's
especially with the brand change. Like you're already really hurting yourself with a brand change if we're being honest. Like you're gonna lose some people from that just because they didn't know what it was, and there are gonna be people who say, "Oh, anybody we lost who can't refind it after it was changed the brand, who cares? They didn't care anyways." It's like, yeah,
that's
that's the problem though. We keep losing like those kinds of people. The casual viewer goes away because we got too stuck on the idea people need to watch all day. LEC was stuck on that idea with K-Core fans, got mad at them for showing up to the stadium and then leaving, realized that's not smart, that's not going to work, and that's not how you actually keep these people happy, and gave it up finally. But for some reason, she's happy. She's so happy to be up there. But her tail is wagging so hard. But for some reason, LCS, we've decided people need to watch all day. If they aren't watching all day, are they really committed to the league? It's like, brother, some people don't want to blow 4 hours every weekend,
yeah.
and that's okay. Like, people don't even want to do that with like real sports, to be honest,
No.
especially in summer. Like, but you're talking in winter, like people, you know how much people complain about college football when it goes longer than like it gets that 2.5 hour mark and you're not in the fourth quarter almost done? People get so mad, they tweet about it all day. And you're expecting them to sit through 4 hours of like, and 3 of those games being teams they don't care about? It's kind of absurd.
I don't. I don't know. I don't
I
know
think you
what
hope
to.
Doublelift brings it back. I think that's what we have to do.
The thing is, like, I don't like just sitting here complaining about everything. That's the part
Yeah.
that irks me. Is like I feel like I'm being like I don't know what Travis said. Kind of did get to me a little bit. Not gonna lie, when he's like, "You're the personal cheerleader. You're the one that's like kind of been like,
Yeah.
saving NA and doing all this." Is like, I know, but like maybe he doesn't feel this. Not saying I'm well, no, I'll be blunt. He gets some preferential treatment from Riot. For sure. Because they trust him. And that's not like a bad thing. He's worked to earn that to a certain extent. But like I don't think I see that in the same capacity. I'm blessed to get some treatment from, like I get jerseys from FlyQuest and Joe Marshall sent me shit from T1. But it's like I don't I don't know. I feel like I'm busting my ass to try and save this shit. I feel like I'm putting every effort in I can so that so that I earn the right to say something. But I don't know if I'm crossing the line with saying too much. Maybe I haven't earned that enough. I don't know. That's very rambly. I know that probably didn't make much sense. Uh,
Well, I
but
think
like,
what you're really trying to say is like, yes, you are the cheerleader of LTA North. You are usually the guy who's saying, we can still fix this, blah, 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 blah. But at some point, you do have to call out where is the effort being given back.
yeah,
And you do have to be real with the scenario in front of you, which is that you and I and everybody else thought viewership was going to go down this split. But I think this drop has been a bit beyond what is reasonable. And if you thought this was a reasonable drop, if you think averaging under 100K is reasonable and you're fine with that, then fine. That's your choice. But I think once you start getting under 6 figs, things get really dark.
yeah.
It's because now you're fighting to get back above 100K.
And there's no magic. Like the thing is, like, I will use this analogy for those that understand personal finance. There are a lot of times like emergencies happen. Things happen, your financial situation declines. Uh it is what it is. And you have levers that you could pull, whether it's a savings account, you have bonds that you can cash in on. Like there's a bunch of different things that can happen that you can bail yourself out of like bad situations. Like turn it around and give yourself a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Our last big thing that I thought that we could do was like reverse the weekend decision. That was the big one. There's no other big card left to play, if that makes sense. Like there's no move that I think that you can make that magically gets us back above 6 figures instantly,
Mm-hmm.
which spells a big problem for me.
Does. It's spooky. I mean, there's not a lot. There's not a lot you can really do, which means we're at the bottom again, and we're trying streaming scrims. We're back to the basics. And if this works and slowly pushes us back up, we're so grinding back. The whole thing will be is if we do fix LTA North and it does all come together again, I really hope they don't repeat their mistakes the second time.
Do you honest question? Do you think it's gonna work?
LTA North right now?
Yeah, like because we got to wrap this up. I got to help Emily carry some stuff up.
Yeah.
And I hate to end it on this note, but I want your honest opinion. Where do you think we're going to be in 2028, 3 years from now?
Mm. I could see it going. I want to say it's going to survive because Riot will keep it alive, but I could see the league just getting smaller and smaller and being combined with LTA South and becoming this weird, like, rotating thing between the two regions at this point. I don't know. I just don't think LTA North can survive on its own on the current route that I'm seeing and with the current effort being put in. I mean, even with streaming scrims and what Fly and C9 are doing, I think there's 4 other teams that are the viewership numbers just aren't there.
Yeah.
And there's no money left to keep bleeding. So I don't know what they do. I mean, and I mean like for personal YouTubes, Twitters and things like that. Like Fly had that good pop off and their socials are doing well. C9s are doing pretty well. 100 Thieves, you got to wonder like how long can they hold out in a league that isn't really producing anything in return? And 100 Thieves are pretty realistic in their like what's a league giving back to us wise.
Yeah.
So you got to question what they would think. And I would say DSG, TL, Fly, C9 can all like self hold on or would hold on just out of nostalgia. But DSG can lose that spot at any time. So you never know, or any year. And then the rest of the 3, like between Shopify, Dig, and probably can't remember the name of the other team in the league.
Lion.
Lion, yeah, dude, that's bad, but that's on me. But those 3, I don't know how they hold on if things get worse.
I just don't know how.
And I know that's like doomery, and I don't mean to be too doomery, but I also just kind of I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have the answer. Like I here's
I almost
I'm
want to ignore it and just like talk about good stuff, but I get we can't. Like
I mean the thing is like this is my one chance to like unload it a bit because next week viewership's going to be high because of the combined event that Riot's going to be bragging about in that front. We'll have streams and everything else like that. It's like sometimes you just got to let shit fly once and get it out of your system. And I feel like this is kind of that week for me of just like we are done with the domestic portion. Now is when you can actually sit back and criticize and say what you need to say. And then next week, hopefully things start happening. But like now is when you need to give the most amount of feedback. And to give my prediction on it, if the current trend continues, I don't think the LTA North will exist in 3 years.
You don't.
Will be folded into somebody else. Like that, because they'll consolidate things even further in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how, I don't know what, but like, if viewership keeps dropping, like I don't, because like, where's the floor? I thought our floor was like last year for weekends of like 100K lowest, but like
Yeah.
our floor's dropping, and if average viewership gets to 50, 60K, Riot will without a doubt pull the plug and like combine it with something else or make like a very drastic decision.
And that's with like honestly a decent off season for teams trying to build hype. I thought the effort put in wasn't too bad, but I just don't think there's enough there right now. And I know it sucks. Sucks for everybody, but it just feels I do genuinely feel 3 years. I don't know how they do it.
There's no
And I
pathway
was
as of
trying
right
to
now.
be chill about it at first. I was trying not to be too aggro on my thought on it, but it is pretty doomery. Or it looks bad right now
Yeah.
to me. It looks like we're on that's why I'm happy you're doing T1 content at least now, and you have K-Core, and you can branch into those as time goes on, because there's a chance LTA just gets crushed. Because your channel is growing, and your channel has been doing fine, but your LTA stuff is stuck,
Yeah.
which tells me that that's an LTA thing. I don't think that's your channel, because when you put out other regions content, it does better
Do you want to know the
on a
most?
primarily LTA North channel.
So this is gonna be my final comment. That I gotta wrap this up because I gotta meet Emily. Do you know what the most upvoted comment was on the rendezvous today?
What?
As a European viewer, I really appreciate the information, and you're my primary source of keeping up with the Americas.
Wow, that's nice.
It's a great comment. It's really nice.
That is really
It's
nice.
really indicative of things, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's got to be it for us. Hopefully we get a sweep this week. I got a big
I
week.
mean, I think we will.
Big week. Captain America on Friday, 100 Thieves on Saturday. I got a massive DJ that I'm going to see Saturday night. So I'm either going to be crying in the
Nice.
club or partying in the club. One of the two. I'm getting fucked up regardless. Beyond that, that's about it. Any final words?
Nice. Nope.
That's it for
Nope.
us, folks.
Nothing.
We will see you later. The pit on Friday. It's going to be a really good one. If you want a preview of the Southern teams, I have a good guest in Honrick coming back. He'll be able to lay out all the matches for you and like how the teams are individually playing. Spoiler, he's not happy with how Brazilian teams